Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Ding. Featuring today a 1 vs 1 on a Langres. We shall be watching Zhongth1989 fighting for the Panzer Elite. Taking on the fight for the 2nd SS Panzer Division das Reich. Opposing him shall be Stephenn, fighting for the 15th Infantry Division. Starting out with what looks like a 2-engineer start, while Mr. Zhongth goes out with a few Panzer Grenadiers, starting out with a Kettenkran as well, by the way. So no Schwimmwagens for him. No, ladies and gentlemen, no Schwimmwagens. Panzer Grenadiers marching out there towards this point, going for, of course, the strategic point, which largely, in fact, controls all the resources towards here. So already there, of course, we can see that the Panzer Elite commander is going for an eastern focus. And the meanwhile, slowly more spreading out here from Stephenn. He's taking a bit more, not just rush towards one point. Probably some riflemen on the way right there from the barracks. Gewehr 43 being equipped for the Panzer Grenadiers. Marching out. Bit of quiet there. 3rd squad on the way so far. Pretty much standard Panzer Grenadier stuff, Panzer Elite things, get some Panzer Grenadiers out, shoot up some Yankees. And also note, he's actually keeping them together. He didn't send one ahead of the other. He actually ensured they would be working together, thus ensuring they have some good amount of firepower and thus not so easily dealt with. Stephenn continues westwards and looks like our Panzer Elite friend is going straight for the jugular, for the throat. For the cutoff, in fact, right there. I'm continuing unopposed, of course, using the fact that he has the early advantage to push it against Stephenn. And of course, there we go, catching the rifle. And he will even try to rush towards the house. Stephenn will also, but oh dear, he does not make it. The Panzer Grenadiers rush in there, and there we go. Stephenn's rifle are rushed off. Quickly retreats and realizing he can't win this, he might as well use that to his advantage. Although other riflemen moving in, Panzer is quickly moving up. Panzer is getting caught out in the open while they're trying to secure the point. Of course, the other rifle squad will quickly have to move up to add in the firepower against these Panzer Grenadiers. 3rd squad moving up there. 4th on the way, going for the fuel point right there. In fact, trying to lay down some sandbags. Riflemen down. The Panzer Grenadiers are going for that point. They're even trying to render it their own. No, they cancel it. Actually, never mind. And Stephenn is actually switching. He's not going to take on these 2 Panzer Grenadier squads. That is definitely not a bad idea. Sometimes what is just as important is actually being able to sort of switch instead of going right down that same problematic point. Switch sort of areas of fighting to sort of take on a much easier point with less resistance and make some good progress there. Which rather seems to be what Stephenn is doing now. He's shifting about, trying to fight the Panzer Grenadiers in a position perhaps less advantageous to them. Engineers getting stopped up there though by a 4th squad. Lots of moving about, lots of maneuvering about. And they're going up towards the heavy cover. Kettenkran charging in though. Although of course trying to push about them. Panzer Grenadier down. In fact, Stephenn doesn't really seem to care about the Kettenkran. The Kettenkran moves away, feeling deeply hurt, having been ignored by Stephenn's riflemen. How rude. How cold, in fact. Panzer is still pushing on. Riflemen are holding on as well, though in light cover as well. And we might see another squad move in right there, of course. Heading the Panzers from the other side. 1 squad, in fact, is soon going to have to be forced away. Slowed down, though. Nicely done right there by Zhongth. Good heavens, that was a set and not the T right at the end. Well, that might have sounded a bit more friendly. Still, the Panzer Elite commander is able to so far pick his fights a bit better, but at the same time we are seeing the engineers now continuing unopposed on the flanks, taking points. Stephenn is, of course, swiftly reinforcing. And Zhongth seems a bit unsure what to do. He's going in for the cutoff point again. Other forces are retreating, being in a horrible condition to fight. Going again for the engineers, the point has been rendered neutral, thus again denying fuel to the Panzer Elite commander, although he currently has 100. It's not like he's deeply missing it. There go Panzer Grenadiers under fire from the base of Stephenn and the 15th Infantry Division. Looks like Stephenn will be making one hell of a push right here. Some taking up position in the house. Others just holding up behind the fence right next to it. Perhaps not the strongest position. Perhaps a few more in the house would be of benefit to Zhongth and his 2nd SS. That's right, there we go, Rifle charging in. Panzer Grenadier immediately gets hit in the gut and drops to the ground. And there we go, lots of rifle. This is just one huge charge. This needs retreat. And Zhongth was not fast enough. He lost 1 Panzer Grenadier squad. Stephenn quickly pushing up, trying of course to block all the doors. So if this chap tries to get out, he will get gunned down. Of course, he might just pop out through this door. Depends if he just right clicks or actually specifically orders them. And there we go, he actually, oh dear, runs out through the door. This could be huge. And there we go. Stephenn turns the tables on Zhongth, goes for the Panzer Grenadier squads, kills 2 outright. And Zhongth quickly turns to sort of recuperate by getting a Panzer command, rush out some armor cars and hope that will do the trick. But he's just again lost 2 Panzer squads, including 1 with the Gewehr 43. He is a bit in trouble at the current state.
We are losing ground.
And he's actually going for some Gewehr 43s. I think he should wait until the Panzer command is up and then get some assault rifles. I think getting some more automatic weapons, some faster firing ones, would help against the riflemen rather than just Gewehr 43s. And now Stephenn, of course, is more than happy to return the favor to Zhongth and his Panzer Grenadiers by going for Zhongth cut-off points. And there we go, Panzer squad again run off. Oh, not looking good. Panzer command ready. Armored cars should be on the way. Wunderbar. But nice comeback right there by Stephenn, turning the tables, causing some severe casualties to Zhongth. Again, I think Zhongth should have gone for some assault rifles rather than the Gewehr 43s. But there we go, armored cars on the way. And a squad of Panzers retreats as flamethrower engineers moving in from the other side. The Panzer squads are a bit too much on their own. Armor caster will soon be ready and turn things around once more.
The Yankees are grabbing our territory.
Kettenkrad being burned, scorched, hunted by flamethrower wielding engineers, and the engine bursts into flames and goes down. And we're in fact seeing a Panzer support command up. Zhongth also worried about, of course, Stephenn going for the armored cars. He knows he's a bit behind now. He's taking some rather nasty beatings. Plus, of course, he's now lost his Kettenkrad. So Zhongth is, of course, also preparing right away for the armored car, which, of course, could prove to be the demise of his own. Though currently, again, he's just lost everything. He got a bit too aggressive, a bit too reckless, and of course, he lost 2 Panzer squad. Now also a Kettenkrad to it, and now, in fact, also losing most of the map. Though he is trying for the swift comeback. Another Kettenkrad on the way. Riflemen being run off. No, oh wait, never mind. There are in fact mines going up for Stephenn. Das ist gut. And the engineers now being run off by the armored car. The armored car, though, not really managing any kills so far. Zhongth does his best to sort of regain all that lost territory, which is rather vital. And we are in fact seeing the motor pool now going up for Stephenn. So the pressure is definitely on our friend from the 2nd SS, das Reich.
We have secured the target.
We of course might see the anti-tank half-track very, very soon. Come on, you have the Panzer Support Command. Anti-tank half-track. Stephenn trying for a frontal assault, but he is met by a rather nasty return firepower, of course, with the Panzers supported by the armored car. He is able to deliver much more firepower onto the troops right here, of course, who only have light cover to cling for, and sadly, bushes do not provide much protection against bullets and armored car or autocannon fire. These Panzers still need to retreat. Zhongth, retreat! Oh, that was bloody well close. We are seeing another push up by Stephenn, another 2 squads heading up on the flank. And looks like Zhongth reacts, or just guesses. And that's where there we go, Rifleman suffering a bit there, point secured. Armored car should be a bit careful in case Stephenn has sticky bombs, but apparently he doesn't. He is soon going to get an armored car, anti-tank gun though, armored car either way. There we go, anti-tank half-track is on the way for Zhongth. What a curious name, by the way. Mines going down there again. Stephenn trying to protect his more vital points. Zhongth rather fortunately not hitting the mine there. And there we go. Greyhound armored car. Trier Center on the way. Another armored car also on the way for Zhongth to help deal with Stephenn's infantry. Some of them already veterans U1, having killed quite a few Krauts. And there we go. The anti-tank half-track is ready. And the armored car number 2 will soon be ready. Oh, this one's going to move against the Panzers. And that could in fact force them to retreat right through the mines. Ooh, very close. Rather fortunate. Losses being inflicted as the Greyhound rolls away. Troops reinforcing near the Trier Center. And a bit of quiet. Why going down there to, of course, deny this to the Panzer Elite? Clever move right there by Stephenn. Minesweepers up. He's actually worried about Zhongth laying down mines. Though, of course, question is, he's worrying about Teller mines, butterfly mines, or half-track mines. So that is the question. Engineers still here get pushed away by 2 armor cars now rolling in. And the riflemen are going to get a bit of a nasty surprise there. But the armor cars are ignoring them for a bit, until now that is. And the armor car takes a nasty hit. Damaged engine. Riflemen moving forwards though, although the armor cars are quickly moving in. Engineers are trying to fix the engine damage, but if the armor cars can kill the engineers first, this could be huge. And there we go, the engineers are run off, but he might lose an armor car in the process. We are seeing overcharged engines in a desperate attempt to get his own armor car out of the mess. And it looks like he actually succeeds. Greyhound armor car though bounces off an awful lot of bullets from the anti-tank half-track, while the German Sonderkraftfahrzeug 222 blasts away into those riflemen. It was later in the war actually essentially replaced with an armor car, well, basically with this autocannon on top of that half-track, basically because this one was rather terrible off the roads. And you can't just do reconnaissance by driving along the roads. Oh dear, the armor car got hit by a stray shot from a rifleman squad. Zhongth was not fast enough, and Stephenn was able to simply catch it and destroy it. This is definitely unfortunate. Greyhound out of control. These Panzer guys need... Oh, he lost them. He lost another squad. This is terrible. Another armor car down. This is quickly turning sour once more for Zhongth. Although, of course, he's been able to drain Stephenn quite a bit. The armor car is gone. He's lost 2 armor cars himself. And another Panzer Grenadier squad. These are definitely not casualties he can afford to lose. Panzer down again. He needs to be a bit more careful with his use of cover, I think. Another armor... No, that's another light anti-tank half-tank on the way. Although, of course, with focus fire, he could try and dig out the Americans. That could work. Kenkraut moving about. Anti-tank gun on the way. Of course, he is aware of the anti-tank half-tanks. Of course, we want something to deal with them. And Zhongth Panzer Grenadiers are quickly getting a bit overwhelmed. Troops are reinforcing. There we go, another armored car on the way. Leichte Panzerschwerwagen.
May now advance, and Allied war machine is at 100%.
So moving forward. But the Germans actually had many sort of reconnaissance vehicles on the theme with that little auto cannon right there on top. They converted the Panzer II into the Panzer II Lux. And there were also even some Panzer 38Ts who were sort of converted in the same manner, although there was only about 50 of those. Generally though, it wasn't like you needed a lot of those for a reconnaissance company, about 10 or 12, so I mean several divisions could have had them. Still a bit of fun there. A few details, rather than though coming out to find, of course, there were also those half-tracked armoured cars. And riflemen are run off. Light anti-tank half-track getting repaired. More on the way from the Panzer Support Command. Could it be a Panzer IV? A Hotchkiss? What could it be? Stephenn advances. No supplied upgrades, no medic stations. Either of those could perhaps help a bit. Points are being secured, and Zhongth actually needs some more Panzer Grenadiers as well. He needs more infantry. And again, I might suggest getting at least some assault rifles. That might help him just a bit. just a tiny bit. Stephenn, though, makes a careful advance up the eastern flank, going for the fuel points, ensuring to have it all covered by the anti-tank on at least a direct assault. Unless, of course, he somehow manages to sneak up the armor cars on the flank. And no, we're actually seeing the Berge Tiger, the fictitious armored recovery vehicle unit. There wasn't actually one like that. That was more for demolition purposes. There was a Berge Elephant, but that was the closest you'll ever get to that. And of course, he has 2 armored cars wrecked, but not completely destroyed. So in fact, he can recover those. And that is certainly a nice maneuver right there by Zhongth. Very nice. And of course, just by being able to recover those 2 armor cars, he will in fact have paid for his Berge Tiger already. BAR's now up, definitely increasing the overall firepower of the 15th Infantry Division's men. Panzers here again, they could have done with some assault rifles. Armor car moves in to support them on the one part. And there we go, armor car being sent back. Anti-tank half-tanks might have wanted to support as well. Riflemen forcing away, simply too much firepower for these Panzer Grenadiers to handle. And now the armor car here will suffer the same. And looks like Fallschirmjägers are dropping in. Zhongth has gone Luftwaffe. And there we go, the FG-42 firing away. Fallschirmgewehr 42. Moving in and charging in fact in at the riflemen. And there we go, just tearing through them. Fallschirmjägers are excellent anti-infantry troops. In particular with the FG-42. Panzers here need to retreat. Zhongth, get them out of there. Oh dear. But he does have all 3 of his armored cars all in the field now. And the Fallschirmjägers managed to turn things around right here. A very lovely job right there by Zhongth, using the Fallschirmjägers' infiltration ability to, of course, appear behind enemy lines and cause some havoc there in conjunction with his Kettenkrad. Anti-tank guns are moving up closer. And we are seeing that Stephenn has actually gone for armored doctrine. This is interesting, but of course he's also mining. In fact, he's mining the roads, which is good. Again, most vehicles and armor units tend to take the roads by automatics, and there's of course you order them to go up here. So of course is a thing to remember as well. But getting the armor cars repaired. Fallschirmjägers might want to retreat, get a bit reinforced and healed up. Armor car moving about on the flank, again using them excellently, not trying to charge them in like tanks, but again using the mobility and their firepower to actually sort of more hit the more exposed flanks, and of course also try to of course spot any weak points. Armor car, dodges it. 2 armor cars going in against 1 anti-tank gun. Right flank is going to fall for Stephenn, which of course could allow them to swing behind right here. Well, of course there's still a mine. Fallschirmjägers, no, retreat, retreat! Desperately fighting, but they all go down. Engineers could in fact also end up being lost to the armored cars. Half-track out for Stephenn, he's getting the anti-aircraft gun upgrade. And now we are seeing a push. He's actually sending in the Berge Tiger in the push. Kettenkrad goes down, anti-tank half-tracks charging in. He is hitting the flank. Immobilized. Damaged engine, and of course he can now send in the other 2 to try and deal with that armored car. And of course the Berge Tiger just moves in. Armored car out of control. And there we go, the other 2's moving in. This is a very, very clever maneuver. I mean, yes, he's going to lose them, but of course he can immediately recover it using the Berge Tiger. This is something I very rarely see, if I've actually ever seen it before. So in this case, any losses are rather temporary, as Zhongth quickly sets about with his Berge Tiger to recover it. Excellent. Clever, in fact. Pretty damn clever. Mine goes off. Fallschirmjägers appearing, actually. And another poor bastard goes down. Comes the 3rd Fallschirmjäger Regiment, I would imagine, which fought near Carentan afterwards. And another mine. They need to retreat.
Our front lines are collapsing.
And he's actually blowing up the anti-tank guns. Of course, he could try to recruit them, perhaps send in some Luftwaffe troops to do the trick. And I think that will work. But there we go again. All 3 armor cars up again. The Berge Tiger does the job. Anti-tank half-tracks joining in with a bit as well. Again, focus fire could help Zhongth. And Stephenn's frontal assault is turning into a frontal massacre, as riflemen are holding up behind some twigs and branches, but again, it might not be enough with 3 armored cars and a Bergtiger, of course, repairing the armored cars. Important to remember, this is definitely causing some problems for Stephenn, who probably had not expected an opponent to be able to so quickly recover his vehicles. And again, it is pretty rarely seen. And in fact, he could have had some Luftwaffe troops again to recover the anti-tank guns, because if Stephenn knows what he's supposed to do, he will probably try to get some armor, because this force is actually, again, can handle now anti-tank guns. It can handle light vehicles, but if enough tanks are thrown in, or some Shermans, this force will in fact completely falter. It is very vulnerable. Yes, the anti-tank half-tanks can do a bit, but again, against numbers, they will be useless. And the armored cars can't do much either, and the Bergtiger will not be able to keep up. Another Fallschirmjäger squad. Apparently, Zhongth and the 2nd SS are now heavily relying on Fallschirmjägers to fill up their ranks. The elite Fallschirmjägers, although as the war went on, they became less and less elite, and generally more like other infantry, although again some of the Fallschirmjäger units were actually pretty lavishly equipped, close to an actually a Panzer Grenadier division in some senses. Well, again, I would need to read more about that. Riflemen though are moving in. Out in the open, that is less good, and they are in fact taking heavy losses, pulling back. Fallschirmjägers need to rush in. Again, the Fallschirmjägers are excellent anti-infantry troops. In particular, if you can get them to cloak a bit first, so they get a nice ambush bonus. So come on, in with the Fallschirmjägers, Zhongth. In with the Fallschirmjägers. Lots of sticky bombs on the Bergtiger. Of course, Stephenn has realized what the main problem is. It is that damn Bergtiger and its crew. He only managed to damage the engine a bit. And why was Zhongth Fallschirmjägers not at the front line? Calliope now joins in another anti-tank gun, so clearly Stephenn is not going to go for armor right away. Fallschirmjägers apparently pushed towards the west, and we are seeing butterfly bombs going down to lay down a small minefield, while the Calliope unleashes a barrage, perhaps hoping to catch the Bergtiger, and he succeeds in doing so. Luftwaffe troops can now be called in. Oh, Fallschirmjäger hit a mine. Again, nasty losses. Nasty losses. 1 man down. In fact, the rest are not in good condition. Armor cars moving in to deal with the minesweepers. Might, in fact, completely end up killing them. Although I have to be careful with that mine. Again, very nice work mining by Stephenn. And there we go. The Luftwaffe troops are moving up. And yes, they actually had blue uniforms, although of course the Luftwaffe field divisions did receive some camo, although I believe that's actually the sort of same camouflage the Fallschirmjägers used. There was some sort of splitting up in terms of equipment they were used, although later in the war again, the Fallschirmjägers would basically just be equipped with Luftwaffe field division equipment rather than the other way around. Panzergrenadiers though here need to retreat. And the Luftwaffe field division is actually in larger amount actually fought on the eastern front. There was in fact one very, very large division that was called Division Meindl, and later on the 21st Luftwaffe field division, which was actually pretty huge for an infantry division and also had an awful lot of artillery. I mean, lots of little fun facts about the Luftwaffe units. But repairing the Bergtiger. Armored cars. Ooh. Pushing in there. Riflemen are taking heavy losses to the auto cannons. If only he was to push in now here, he might actually be able to catch the anti-tank gun off guard. Fallschirmjägers on the flank moving in to support the armored cars. That is nice. Another Calliope barrage to prevent any push from down there. Rifleman squad taking nasty losses, and we are seeing Stephenn once more pushed away. Too much resistance by the 2nd SS and their 3rd Fallschirmjäger Regiment allies. Now looks he's trying to sneak in and try to get that anti-tank gun, but not quite succeeding. The anti-tank gun escapes first. Mortar half-track on the way. Again, any sort of armor push could do a lot of damage, in fact, to Zhongth at this very moment.
Squad ready for orders.
Interesting, they can actually cloak while taking a point if they're in a crater. I did not know that. And there we go, but they are in a terrible condition. They just need to retreat, and there we go. One man, two.
Territory from us.
Only one Fallschirmjäger makes it out of that one alive, and the rest also retreat. Again, not being in a good combat position. Lots of defensive veterans here might have gone offensive to sort of help them kill the riflemen. But of course, this fellow actually sort of opts more to make them tougher. Stephenn, though, is slowly covering, also sending out an the anti-tank on the west instead of the east. We might be seeing the Calibis try to deal with the armored cars right here. Already one damaged engine. The riflemen enjoying light cover right then. There we go. Calliope barrage right on the armored cars. And the Luftwaffe simply just charge in, trying to heroically repair it. A bit reckless though. Mortar half-tank moving up there. Oh, getting the riflemen in the house.
The enemy is attacking a petrol depot.
Excellent maneuver. Oh, and you can even see the anti-tank gun. That's definitely going to be a problem for Stephenn in operating up there. And a third squad of Fallschirmjäger. He's actually spending quite a lot of that. And again, leaving himself perhaps a bit unprepared in case of an armored rush. But again, he of course has to react what he actually knows. But again, he also knows Stephenn has gone armored doctrines. I mean, in some sense, he probably ought to be expecting armor at one stage. And he's also got all three buildings. I think going for Panthers in this case might work. Incendiary grenade, though. Finishes off this little trap. Anti-tank gun cleared out. Fallschirmjägers once more getting the FG-42s, and the riflemen simply go down as they charge in. But the Fallschirmjägers also getting killed. Trying to destroy that anti-tank gun. And Panzer is pretty ineffectually trying to deal with that Calliope.
Henschel strafing runs can now.
Henschel strafing runs ready. 500 manpower, 200 fuel. He could also just go for a Panzer IV. I think actually a Panzer IV could reasonably well finish this off with some armored skirts. Stephenn would simply not be able to stop it. So, yeah, I'm not sure why Zhongth is not going for that. Seems more content playing with his armored cars. Sticky bomb damaging the engine of the armored car. 15th Infantry Division is holding on, and there we go though. Tank depot is up, and this could definitely be a problem. Although Zhongth is now actually getting a Panzerschreck, though that's just one. Sticky bomb damaging the engine, almost down. Luftwaffe troops, Fallschirmjäger taking up position in the buildings to provide overwatch. That is nice. Anti-tank gun getting clued by Luftwaffe troops.
Unit down.
Armored car down. Berg Tiger moves up. Anti-tank half-tanks not really seeing much usage, which I suppose is a bit of a shame and a bit of a waste. And that anti-tank gun actually is going to need some repairs, otherwise it's going to quickly end up getting blown up.
Ready for all group.
But there we go. Some mighty Panzerschreck, except they haven't decided to pull it out yet. One M18 Hellcat up for Stephenn, although I imagine he's actually going to get a few more before he actually makes the move. And he's also going for an observation post right there on the munitions. Or has he already gone for it, of course? Probably, actually. But again, that's probably going to help him sort of get some more synergy and, of course, more abilities, sort of like Allied War Machine, a bit more. Fallschirmjägers might want to actually remain in the building rather than stand out in the open versus these riflemen who are both veteran too. That's definitely going to be a problem. Tank busters now coming out for Zhongth. Again, no attempt at Panthers or Marders or anything like that, or a Panzer IV. Quite interesting. A bit peculiar. Rifleman pushing in, Panzerjets flying through the air. And there we go. Mine goes off, killing two Panzers. Calliope, the trap has sprung. And the Hellcat charges in. Flamethrower engineers moving up to clear out the tank busters in the building. Armored cars could be moving a bit too close to the riflemen. Tank destroyers hoping to get them. And the Fallschirmjägers are forced. No, they're getting in. He's actually lost one squad. And a Panzerschreck has dropped. Stephenn could secure this very moment and turn it against Zhongth. Though he did not manage to do so. And there we go, Allied war machine up, but he's not using it. In fact, Zhongth is just trying to fire at the ground. And some other riflemen moving up there. Bergtiger rolls in, but with a damaged engine. Zhongth has not repaired that. And the Allied war machine actually ends up keeping it alive, allowing the engineers to quickly move in and repair it. Very sneaky maneuver, and definitely perhaps a backfire right there for Zhongth, a bit in particular, considering some of his anti-tank half-tanks are in a poor shape. Riflemen securing another BAR, so that gives them 3, and they're moving in. Oh dear, this could actually end up with a anti-tank half-track lost. And he sees the Panzerschreck, he gets it, he's got veteran D2 already, so it will be rather accurate. Damaged engine. Half-track down, taking up position in the house. Panzerschreck, armor car down. Absolute havoc by these riflemen. Already 2 vehicles down. Things are quickly turning sour for Zhongth. That Panzerschreck fell a bit short though. Anti-tank gun a bit too close, and another Calliope. He's still not repaired the anti-tank gun. Mortar half-track down. Riflemen move in. Only an armor car to provide protection. No Fallschirmjägers or anything like that to actually fight. It's quite interesting. He's not been bothering with the Fallschirmjäger near his main points, but sort of been left them largely to do flanking work. And of course, they're nice. There we go, another Fallschirmjäger squad charging in. But versus veterans, 3 riflemen, they will easily be chewed up. Just note how quickly they're going down, in particular since the riflemen have 3 BARs. More moving in, and some other Panzer Grenadiers, but this is definitely turning ugly. Tank destroyer rolls in. Fallschirmjäger's almost down. Panzerschreck though, and Panzerfaust could be used to knock out the Hellcat. Veteran C2 engineers, that is definitely nice. Hellcat dodges the rockets. And now Zhongth is actually making a more solid push with his Fallschirmjägers up towards the center. Panzer is moving in. And almost gets the Hellcat. There we go. Small victory for Zhongth, but he's definitely been taking some huge losses, and his Bergtiger is still too slow. He needs it repaired. He needs it repaired so it can move fast and thus quickly get to the different units he needs recovered. Otherwise, Stephenn will much too quickly recover and counterattack. And we actually seen grenades now right in the path of the Fallschirmjägers. Excellent. Oh, never mind. Not so much this case. Allied war machine up again. That seems, I think, a misclick. Offensive veterancy for the Fallschirmjägers. That's nice, but a bit too late. That's now the with a Panzerschreck are moving in. And they've already got 4 vehicles on their conscience. Definitely a problem for Zhongth. And again, the Bergtiger is simply too slow to actually be able to sort of recover at a good enough rate. He's going to quickly counterattack if he wants any chance of actually sounding this one, unless of course he wants to lose that as well. And if he has any munitions, I would suggest him using his... Never mind, another half-track down. Another kill for the rifleman. Zhongth pushing up with whatever infantry he can scrape together. Another squad of Fallschirmjägers run off. Trying to get that Bergtiger. And a sticky bomb to finish it off. Nope, still there, but he got another half-track. 6 vehicles down. Luftwaffe squad down. Oh dear. Fallschirmjägers taking up position in the house, but they're simply surrounded by lots of highly veteran riflemen who are tearing through the Fallschirmjägers. Main destroyed basically means that the crane is no longer operable.
Enemy unit down.
And the Bergtiger is holding on, but for how much longer? Trying to turn the frontal armor again. present the 100mm armor, and the Panzerschreck gets it.
Make it quick.
And Zhongth is down to one squad of Panzers, 3 40mm, an anti-tank gun, and an armored car. He is definitely looking none too well. Another Calliope barrage. And the 40mm are now the one leading the charge. Apparently the 2nd SS will provide no more infantry. And the tank busters went down. The armored car went down. Grenade on the 40mm. Killing quite a few as they advance. Another grenade. Not doing much this time around. Riflemen are suffering a bit to the 40mm material. The veterans won. With offensive veterans, by the way. Small turnaround right there for Zhongth, but Stephenn might be holding the upper hand in this case. He can even call in a Pershing now. And he's only got one anti-tank gun to really stop it. If only Zhongth has prepared himself a bit better. And also had some more 40mm at the front line. He might have done a bit better. But that is a bit too late now.
Losing ground out there.
One squad of tank busters is at the front. 40mm charging in over the right hand side. And now it's the engineers' turn to find themselves being gunned up and run off. And another Calliope barrage, of course, stop this 40mm charge, taking out quite a few, seeing the entire squad force running. And there's only one minor force over here hiding behind some trees, supported by an anti-tank gun to face off against what amounts to 3 riflemen squads, all with some levels of veterancy. And now the anti-tank gun is a bit left on its own. And the riflemen just keep on. A desperate attempt by the tank busters to save the anti-tank gun, though I'm not convinced it will work. Though the 40mm might have something to say. And these veterans, 2 riflemen are simply taking too much. Oh, grenade! Oh, nice hit, completely stopping the offensive veterans. 40mm, and they're going to have to run off quickly, leaving the rest to carry the weight of this assault. And of course, you could just call in a Pershing. Another grenade. Sends more 40mm and tank busters running back to the fatherland. And there we go. The Pershing roars onto the field. And another Calliope barrage makes things hot for the Hun. And the anti-tank gun and the few remaining Luftwaffe troops are there. And another tank buster squad absolutely massacred. The Panzer command is definitely looking in none too well either. And in fact, he's down to just 3 squads of 40mm. He has got nothing else left. Nothing else left. If only he'd gone for some Panthers earlier, or a Panzer IV, he might have won this instead. He set himself up a bit too much to be outmaneuvered by armor, and now he has largely lost it all.
Objective secured. Rifle squad defended.
Points are being secured. Let's speed this up a bit. Grenade from the veterans fleet doesn't do much. More 40mm moving in. The Pershing rolls in. 40mm evacuates the remains of the old barn. Another shot obliterates one 40mm, and the one 40mm, not 40mm. The rest are sent packing. Zhongth's force projection is getting much and further limited. He isn't able to really do much, and another Calliope barrage hits his base. As an anti-tank half-deck, I do not think an anti-tank half-deck is what he needed, to be honest. Zhongth That is definitely too little too late. To the completely wrong target, and one Fortune Mega squad is gone now as well. And again, now the real question becomes, why did he go for an anti-tank half-tank when he had access to the Panther battle group? He's prepared for it, but he's not going for it. I mean, this is just silly, plus all the munitions. He could easily have gone for a bit of, you know, focused fire on the anti-tank half-tank to at least kill some of those riflemen, but no. And certainly a well-used Henschel strafing run could perhaps knock out that Pershing, but again, it's not happening. Seems like Zhongth is forgetting the usage of a lot of the Panzer Elite stuff he has at his disposal. Which is definitely not paying off. Another retreat, let's speed this up. Another Calliope barrage. The Panzer Support Command has seen better days. And well, not really much going on here. Another squad run off. And GG. So might as well stop right there. But there you go, game over. A complete loss to the 2nd SS Panzer Division Das Reich and its 3rd Fallschirmjäger Regiment allies. A nice victory right there for Stephenn. It rather came down to the fact that, again, Zhongth was a bit too concerned with infantry. And again, while you certainly should, of course, be fighting what your opponent brings, you should always be worried, if he's just got infantry, that he might go armor. That didn't happen. He knew his opponent had gone for tank destroyer armor docks, and he knew it because he saw Calliopes. He should have known something would come, but he didn't prepare enough. He could easily have saved up resources for a Panther, or for that matter, he could have even just gone for a Panzer IV to just help deal with the infantry faster, but neither really happened, and ultimately he had a sort of half and half solution. It also did not help that most of his Fallschirmjägers were sort of wasted over here instead of perhaps, you know, trying to hold the front line a bit better, or at least assist them in killing the main infantry force. That also hurt him a bit in the longer run, and rather again attributed to him to basically getting ground down. And he probably also been at least trying to recover some more of those enemy anti-tank guns. In the end, though, too little too late from him in terms of response once Stephenn actually sort of turned things around and went for what actually worked. Plus, of course, Stephenn was able to actually also early on actually quite nicely maneuver and send Zhongth back a few times, and thus lay down a lot of mines, making any advance by Zhongth a lot more painful. So I mean, also some good things right there by Stephenn, certainly. But there you go. Do hope you enjoyed this game. If you did, why not subscribe and tell your friends, and if you didn't, well, why not send in a replay of your own. This is Imperial Dane saying cheers.